I wanted to come on here. My name's Emmanuel. Um, I it's been a few days since everything's been happening uh, in social media, and it's being talked about Charlie Kirk, and it's been very hectic, and the energy's been very crazy, and I'm sure everyone is feeling it. And and it's been just very a lot of energy, a lot of emotions, a lot of sadness. Just watching it and just witnessing all of the different reactions, and um, again, so many people that I've watched. I feel like social media kind of brings you what you think. Um, so my thought, of course, no one deserves that. No one deserves to have their life taken, and that is sad. That is sad, but um, and that is my view. I have not much else to say about that. But that is a heavy, you know, topic that's been, being talked. That's been talked about for the past couple of days, and I am just watched Theo Vaughn, react and to this, to the Charlie Kirk incident, and he said on his YouTube video that it seems that there's dark people that are in the background that know more than all of us, than we do sometimes. And there's just like, what do we do? Like, what's safe? There's a lot of truth to what Theo said that I kind of like rephrased. Um, I don't think it does any justice, to feed into, the conspiracies. I don't think it does much justice. I think it only fuels that type of mm, mind and thought pattern. And whatever you put your awareness on is what you're going to create. Whatever you place your attention, whatever thoughts that you choose to think and choose to make your own, will become your reality. And one thing that I've noticed is that a lot of people are thinking a whole lot of thoughts that were carefully, let's say, planted or cultivated in our culture throughout hundreds of years, maybe a couple hundred of years. What I do know is that we have to learn and teach our brain and rewire it. Become extra aware on the things that are coming to you. Like, if you're scrolling on social media, you'll probably be able to scroll upon a video that is talking about the human psyche, that is highlighted because of the Kirk incident, comparing it to the Luigi incident where he killed the CEO. Now these are in-depth, like, mental dualities that are being highlighted right now, and it adds a different perspective on life that we previously weren't privy to. And it's so funny because in my personal experience, I get the goosebumps as I think this. Um, um, in my own experience, I became aware of the faceted aspect of our universe and how, you know, these dimensions of perspective, shift as you become more aware of not only your environment but more so yourself, because the environment is only a reflection of you, which I hear a lot. I mean, obviously, I know it's not I mean, it's a known phrase, but I believe these teachings are becoming more lived now. So, what motivated me to come on here was hearing Theo talk and him express his sadness and fear and confusion about life, which I completely understand and I go through, you know. But now more than ever, I feel like my brain is becoming more clear, and it's all meant to happen the way it's happening. And I'm sure you guys understand that in your own way, but um, what we put our awareness on, what we pay attention to, is what we will create. The earth, this reality, is just a class. It's just the concept of like, it's 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 a school. Earth is a school you go to. Everyone has heard of the concept of reincarnation. It's up to you if you believe it or not. But we come into this life to learn, to understand, to be able to aid humanity's or God's will, whatever that is. And I don't say God as a man in heaven with a beard sitting down on a throne. I don't even know what it is, but I know that it is something more beautiful and more spectacular that I can't even conceive of, that enthralls itself in everything that I'm looking at around me, even the camera, which reflects me, which I'm probably only a reflection. I'm only a reflection of you, and a bird in the sky is a part of you as well. A synchronicity there that just popped up in my brain, but I'll save that for another day. Life is amazing. It is enthralled, and God is enthralled in everything. But we have to understand that we can't put so much emphasis on the world around us, and we have to switch to energy inward to become and understand ourselves more. And I know that sounds crazy. Now, I want to tell you a little bit about myself real quick. I played football in college. Played all 4 years. I was a starter. I did all of that. People probably perceived me as a jock. I mean, I was very quiet in many ways. I had this outward persona that I probably emanated, right? So I don't want to hear me talk like this to like, oh, this everything's all sweet dandy. Nah, that's not how I perceive the world, and I have a body and family that I was born into that taught me a lot of lessons. So I don't talk like this, like shit sweet. So what I do want to say is that there is more to what to reality than what we're given, and if we just search and just look a little harder and pay more attention a little longer, you will be able to guide yourself to the answers. And you listening to yourself and listening to your heart will guide you there. I know it's hard, and this is the hardest part of life. The external relationships are going to be your number one lesson. And you have to be able to see yourself in whatever you do. You have to be able to take yourself out of your body in a reflective state. Of course, not if you really, not like you really do it. I can't do it. I mean, hopefully one day, but you know what I'm saying? I'd really like to contemplate about this, things like this, and I'm lucky to be interested in this. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But we have to turn the mirror inward instead of looking all of these all outward for answers, which it's okay to stay aware of, because you see things that God speaks to you when you shape your perspective and you shape the foundation of what you're seeing in life to be centered in, you know, living a holy life. You know, I know that sounds very like Christian, but it's not. Like living a very centered life, you know, in holiness, you know, being connected to God, you know, source, doing, you know, a big thing for me is, you know, attachments, you know, releasing attachments. You know, I am currently in a van right now, you know, like a van, a Ford Ecoline. I took out, you know, gutted out like a year and a half ago, and I've been working on it slowly but surely ever since, because I want to go and travel and, you know, go see the world. And for a long time I've been through the past 7 years, I've been really contemplating about life, having one foot in reality, one foot in the sky. You know, I feel like I am a chameleon in many ways, in terms of being able to to function in reality. You know, be able to talk to people. I'm in sales, so that's where I was able to, you know, make a living in sales. You know, I live with my brother and my dad, so I really was focused on, you know, staying with them rather than leaving, and, you know, taking on this 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 role in the world that I really didn't, you know, feel like it was for me. You know, sales. I mean, the job I was able to. It's very flexible, so I'm very grateful for that. I was very grateful, but yeah, you know, it, that lifestyle, you know, corporate lifestyle was never for me. I never wanted, and once I stopped playing football, I was not going to go into a corporate job. You know, so I mean, I knock doors, you know, in sales, which is make a good living, but it's a hard job. And, you know, becoming more centered and, you know, feeling myself more. I'm not perfect, and I've lived far from that holy life that I've explained to you, but for many years I have contemplated this, you know, at war, not at war, but on almost like unconscious inner battle with myself of the external factors that were, you know, ingrained in me as I grew up. And now where for many years I've been, I've always been like super like loving, like super nice, and always wanted to treat people with respect, and that was just always me, and as I got older, I can see going to college, that shift in many ways. I'm still very loving, always nice and compassionate, but like it shifted, just like relationships, playing, being in college, having that type of energy around you, you know what I mean? And we go through life, you know what I'm saying? We change, we understand the things we do, and we learn from it, you know what I'm saying? And going through all, you know, the things that I have in my life, I've really been able to, you know, you know, contemplate and like really juggle with things, and like I really like thinking about different aspects, and like why do I think that like that? What made me feel like that now? Like what made me feel like that a few years ago? Like why did it change now? What angle, what new piece did I just experience that made me look different at the previous perspective that I held? You know what I mean? There's so many things that we can begin to look at and turn inward rather than, you know, um, take in all of this energy that is being presented around us. Uh, uh, for It's no coincidence. I can sound like a conspiracy theorist, but it's going to become more known that it's not that crazy, and let me just leave it at that. If you focus on yourself, focus on your relationships. If it's you're having hard times with your relationship, you have to look. If you want to stay with somebody, you have to be able to take down your guard and be able to submit yourself to them and be able to listen and hold space with them and be able to listen, hold back your anger. These are things that I'm learning, that I'm really learning in a recent relationship of mine, and I feel like I tried so hard in doing that and holding back my getting loud and adding my 2 cents, and just holding space for the words and feelings that my partner wants to express, and however she wants to express it, And it's been a lot of blessings, but I'm grateful for them. No matter what I go through, I'm grateful for the relationships I'm going through, because whether they're good or bad, both of them are teaching me a lesson. You know what I'm saying? The bad teaches me what I don't want. The bad teaches me how I have to change. The bad teaches me what I do in my reality, that what I do that causes certain energies and reactions to come back to you. Everything is you. Your energy is where you have to focus on, because where you put your attention on is where your energy is going to flow, and whatever you're putting your attention on is going to be, it's like a copy machine. The energy is being multiplied. It's just being copied of what you're placing it on. Now, we have the power to become more aware of these thoughts and choose to pick something new. And this is the inner battle that I know that many of you are probably going through, as I've been going through for many years now. And it's getting more intense, and this is why I finally just have to turn on the camera, as I did before, as you see a few of my old videos. But I'm learning and really learning how to articulate myself and really know how to explain certain things as I understand, reality in a new way. You know, and things things are never known. Things are just felt. There's a lot of things I'm not going to be able to explain, but you know like everything happening in the news, like no one knows what is going on. But we can't think about that, because I feel like everything is going to unfold the way it's going to unfold anyway. It's going to have effect on us most likely, but like we just have to learn how to love ourselves more, be more attentive to our own bodies, because it's going to bring up a lot of shadow. It's going to bring up a lot of darkness, that you have within yourself, as a lot of us are probably feeling a lot of anger or a lot of sadness. We have to tend these things with love, with nurturing. Like we have to hold these feelings, go to the beach or alone, or go to a park, a state park or something like that. Hear a waterfall, put your feet into dirt. Like being able to do this will clear your energy field and make you feel better. I do it. Yeah, I do it. So I can't just. I'm not saying this out of oh, I see it. You know, and I say I smile because through many years, it's a transition that you have to go through, to to break out of the mode that you were born into, that you created yourself, that you were so accustomed to, and maybe in some ways, scared for the world to see you and see you express yourself in a certain way and sound a certain way. At least in my case, not gonna get too deep into that, but you know, at the end of the day, like this world is just a stage, that we're putting here in our body to learn, not to act, but to learn and to be ourselves, just to be our unique self, and not take external definitions and just roll with it. We need to cultivate our own knowing. And I've learned much of this from many people, but the people I've learned from told me to put the power within myself, just like I hope I'm doing for you. The people who are meant to be followed are the people who tell you to put the power in your own self. Not to follow them, but to stand next to them and hold hands as times get tough. There's no leadership, there's no one leader no more. We have to all come together. There are some leaders that have leader attributes that we need, because people are different. But we are all one. We are all coming together now, and I know it doesn't seem like that, but the division that is being highlighted is only necessary for the things to be resolved in our external psyche, because we have our own psyche, and there's an external psyche around us as well. You can think of it as a cloud that all people tap into, and sometimes, many times, 98% of us on Earth don't even know that we're tapping into that. So, the thoughts that you want. If you want thoughts of love, cast out the thoughts aren't love. Love yourself. Meditating, focus, single point focus will be not easy at first, but it will be the only thing that will lead you to actual happiness and bliss in silence. The bliss is in the silence. God is within silence. Source, the creator of everything, is in the silence, in the void.